It's got my secrets, nothing more. I check the drawers, I check the spikes. Left me hanging in my Nikes. Last night we tore up the town. Now my wallet's not around. Call the cops or play it smooth. Pay my debts and start anew. Hey, hey, where'd it go? My cash, my cars, my flow. Don't you know what's gone? Now I'm broke from dusk till dawn. Dancing lights and screaming bass. Drinks were flowing in that place. Left a tip but lost my grip. Now my wallet's gonna slip.
In a world where financial advice is as blurry as a wild night of cheap Jell-O shots, clear your head and your monetary halitosis with the About That Wallet Show hosted by Anthony Weaver. Leave those Jell-O shots for the amateurs and learn to indulge in the top shelf bottles, baby. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
What up, everybody? Hopefully y'all are having a wonderful time this Friday Eve. Man, so we have a special guest. How you doing today, Casey?
Hi, good, Anthony. How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. It's we're gonna make it work and do what it do on this Friday Eve. But man, so a lot of people right now going through this furlough, and it's just been a doozy. So what have you been doing lately to kind of help out those people that just kind of don't know what to do with their funding right now?
Well, you're all about helping educate people with their finances, and I think it's so important to teach the basics. Right? You can't go do something great if you don't know the basics. And for me, it's all about living on less than what you make, right? Don't spend it all at one place. Don't spend it all, save a little bit.
Yeah. And because of what we're dealing with right now, I just, how to say, everything is on edge. Like even just people's emotions, people is just like really antsy right now. And sometimes I think we just need a drink.
Well, it's never good to lose your head, right? It's good to just stay back, stay calm, stay cool, assess the situation, try not to let your emotions, money can be emotional. It can be spiritual. It can fill a void in your life. And so and a lot of people are like, oh man, I wish I could save 10%, but
Yeah.
you know what? It makes me feel so good to click those buttons and buy that stuff on Amazon and fill my back bedroom sky high with stuff I don't even open.
Not the back bedroom.
I have a few hoarders in my family, so
Gotcha. Yeah, because I was looking at your content and I was like, all right, you do a lot of good stuff when it comes to helping people figuring out just the stock market in general. Because I have to say right now, with the interest rates, the way how things are going, the stock market's been really hitting the fan. How are you finding your short wins in this day and age right now?
Well, it's really something that has to be on the front of everybody's mind, right? Investing in the markets. And I tell people, just what I've learned, and that is that when I got out of the Army back in 2000, I had a decent amount of money because I was investing. I started really young, started 18. When I was in the Army, I was putting my money away, socking it away. And by the time I got out, I was 22 years old. I had over $30,000.
Wow.
Now that's a lot of money,
Yeah,
30,000. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I rented my very first apartment I got out of the Army. I was in Salem, Oregon. The rent was $350 a month. And that was in 2000. Okay. So they're like, oh, inflation Inflation is, the value of the dollar is about double what it was then. And
Mhm.
that's a lie, because try getting an apartment for if it would have been 700, it would be double.
Right.
Now an apartment's not a double 350. It's like 1,200 minimum, depending on where you live. Some places 2,000, 3,000.
Mhm.
And so that means the value of our money is 4 times lower than what it was just, what was that, 25 years ago?
Yeah. I didn't even think about it that way. So, with that being said, what should we be looking into? What type of mindset should we have going forward then?
Well, we should be thinking about taking a small piece of our finances and then investing it in the market. And I heard a really wise guy say, not a wise guy, but a wise man. He said, think about it on every dollar. Take a dime out of every dollar and save. Take a dime out of every dollar and invest. Then take a dime out of every dollar and use that to try to make a profit. Then
Gotcha.
live off of 70 cents. Right. And he says, if you start doing that, it's really about building the habits, right? Like, oh, yeah, that's easy when you're making $1, but when you're making $1 million, that's not so hard. Or you might even say, oh, when I make $1 million, I'll do it, but that's not going to happen. You got to start small. You start with the little things, and then as you build up. And the cool part about it is, if you start small, when you get bigger, those numbers will be getting bigger. Like, oh, you learn how to save 10 cents, you'll be able to learn how to save 20 cents, 30 cents. And then when you get really good at it, you can live off of the 10 cents.
Right.
And the 90% of either doing an investment or giving it away to people to help people out.
I like that concept, because it just reminded me of the book. What do they call it? I think Think and Grow Rich.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Because it's going back to that 10%. Just save out that 10%. It's like, hey, even if you got a bill due, you pay yourself 10% first, then you pay everybody else.
Pay yourself first, and it's you got to teach people that, because inflation will eat you alive. You can't keep up with it. You can't make enough money. Your wages, right? We talked about. I just said that rents were $350, but the wages haven't gone up 5 times. Everything else, your wages are smaller now.
Yeah, I think I remember getting that 25-cent raise before, putting in so much work.
Yeah. You got to pay yourself.
Yeah. So what got you into this area? I mean, granted, you were out the military. What was your first job out of it?
So I got out of the military, and I just didn't have any clue what I was going to do. I was 22, but I still didn't have a clue.
Right.
I'm 49, and I'm still don't really have a clue. But that's a whole nother topic. But
Right.
Yeah, so I just started cleaning carpets. It was $8.50 an hour cleaning
Nice.
carpets. And, I had a lot of money. And so my boss, right, my first job, I was only working there for a couple months, but my boss, I would see him. He would show up in the morning, and he would give us a piece of paper. He'd say, I want you to go to Elm Street and clean that house. And he said, I want you to go over here and clean that house. And then when you're done, I want you to go do this house. And so he'd give me 5 houses. And then he's like, you collect all the money. I would collect all the money, and I would give it to him, and I'd give him like $500. And I'm thinking, this is not good.
Right.
Like, this guy's getting the money. So, and I'm sitting here struggling. So I did that for like a couple months, and I went and I contacted the franchise. It was a carpet cleaning franchise. I'm like, I need to get into this. So I'm 22, 30,000 in the bank, and I went and I started a carpet cleaning franchise.
Nice. Is this, you still got it?
No.
Oh.
No. It was good. It was great. I mean, I was making good money, but again, all this stuff I teach is obviously great in theory, and it works, and it's worked well for me. But my life is kind of a series of ups and downs, which I think that's what everybody goes through. So I made some great financial decisions. I saved money. I put my money in the markets. I learned how to invest, learned how to do options, learned how to trade,
Right.
learned how to start businesses, but I also learned how to make major mistakes.
Can
and
you talk
spend
about one?
money.
Can you talk about one of them that kind of was like your biggest lesson learned because of that mistake?
Well, when I started the carpet cleaning business, it was really good, but I just didn't really have the maturity and the responsibility, right? So I got involved with just a bunch of craziness, relationships and all of that good stuff, and just ended up making a lot of bad choices, and ended up making bad financial decisions. Even though I was making good money, I just didn't have the maturity and the responsibility to hang on to it. So I ended up not continuing with that.
Mm, okay. Now, because a lot of people right now, even though they looking into their portfolio, we might just chop it up into. We're going to just do different segments because I figured it'll be easier, just kind of flow with it. So we're going to do strictly just investments, your options, and then go from business to savings. Is that cool?
Whatever you want to do, man,
All
you
right.
got this.
I figured I'll break it up that way because for the people that are looking to invest, and a lot of people are loving the investment side and they want to get into investing. Um, let's start there. What got you into investing, and then what would you tell somebody who just started investing? Where would they go?
Okay. 2 questions. I'll try to remember. So
Yeah.
I got started investing as very young. I was into computers. I was a computer nerd, and my aunt worked at Intel, and she would bring home computer parts and teach me and my brother how to build computers. So it was really cool back in the 80s. We thought it was fun, but we didn't realize that it was like the future, right? Tech was the future. So we were really into it. And my dad was an investor, and he was old school. He didn't have a computer. He didn't know how to use a computer. And he would look in the paper in the mornings and look at the stock quotes, right? Okay, this is the price. Like every day, you couldn't get the stock prices. There was no like, let me Google this. What's Google trading at? There was no Google in the first place, but you couldn't see what it was trading. So you had to look it up in the paper. So there was no online trading. But then in the early 90s, online trading started, and my dad bought a computer because he wanted to trade online. And so when he bought the computer, he had no idea what to do with it. So I set up his computer. I set up his connection to get his internet connection. And I don't even think it was the internet then. It was like some kind of box or whatever. I don't even know. But I set it up so it was working. He could get his stock quotes going. And then I was really fascinated with stocks. I was like, oh my goodness, you could make money. You can make money just by buying a stock. Are you kidding me? And then I immediately had like visions of becoming the world's wealthiest stock trader in my mind. I thought, you know what? I'm 16 and my dad doesn't know anything about investing in stocks. He's totally clueless, but I know what I'm doing. And that was kind of funny. But anyways, I just loved it from the start because it was just so exciting in the fact that you could make money through investing.
Yeah, that's really cool because I didn't get into it until like college when I was like, I have this Sprint cell phone. I'm using it every day. I'm sure there's millions of other people using Sprint. So let's just invest in Sprint. And now look where Sprint's at now. But we're not going to dive into that. Because now that everything went digital, I remember getting the newspaper and seeing the stock quotes because back then you can actually get the most movers and the top traders,
Right.
user. But that was about really it. You couldn't invest into every like company that's out there because I didn't see like a book or pamphlet back then that was about covering everything. So can you talk about now, as far as in this digital age, how easy it is to get started and where should the first person start?
Yeah. So that was the second
Yep.
part of the
I
question I
got
was
you.
supposed to answer originally. But yeah, it's great for people to get started now. I recommend that people do just to try to get a way of beating inflation. If you want to keep it simple, you could simply invest. And so that would be step one. Keep it simple, right? There's an unlimited amount of things that you can learn, right? And if you start down that path, it can be very, very overwhelming. And so you want to say, okay, let's learn the basics and let's keep it simple. And so I would say you could do something as easy as investing in the S&P 500, right? And it's an ETF. ETF means it's an exchange traded fund, and the S&P 500 is the top 500 stocks in the United States. And what makes it so easy is that whoever manages that fund, they spend millions of dollars on research. They have a full research team, and they're always researching the best stocks. And so if a company has a really good year, they're like, oh, we'll add that to the S&P 500. And if it has a really bad year, they're going to remove it from the S&P 500. One of the stocks that I've been trading that's done really well just got added to S&P 500 this year, and that was Robinhood, the online phone broker. They just got added to the S&P 500. I think Coinbase got added to the S&P 500. So they do all the research. So all you got to do is piggyback the best companies. And if you look at the history of the S&P 500, just go and do a little bit of research. When I started trading in 1996, the S&P 500 was trading at like 650. Okay, now it's trading over 6,000.
Wow. Yeah.
So that's a big return right there. Buy one share and you do really well.
Because I remember when I started looking at it, everybody was when I first got into trading, they was like, is the S&P 500 going to hit 3,000? Is it going to really get there? And I'm like, well, yeah. It just really took off. So, man, so you've been in this for a minute. All right. So for those of the people who are looking into learning options, because I was watching your video and you were talking about even with paper trading, can you talk about what platform that you use to kind of get started? And then obviously this is for educational purposes only, so we're not telling you what to do.
Yeah. As far as giving recommendations, I would just say, look at their customer support, right? So I'm not afraid to share who I use. I use Charles Schwab. Okay. And they are not the cheapest because Robinhood is free, right? No commission on Robinhood. It's great. Charles Schwab they charge a little bit of commission, but I prefer them because their platform has a little more features and their support is phenomenal. And it's so hard to get good customer support in today's world. And I don't care about stock trading or whatever. They give great customer support. And to me, that really means a lot.
Thanks.
So that's why I go with them. Because if the platform's confusing and you're confused, you just ask them and they help you instantly. They're very helpful.
Well, considering that they stole the people from what do you call it? Not E-Trader. It was another one, TD Ameritrade.
Yeah, TD Ameritrade. That's right.
I love that platform. And then when they switched over, I was like, this is trash. Because remember, you couldn't trade like you used to. And they was like, well, we're working on the platform. But it's still not laid out the way how I like it in TD Ameritrade. And do they still have Thinkorswim?
Thinkorswim is what I use. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a little crazy. You can actually do just about anything on it. So it's pretty robust. And that's why it's a little crazy, because it just has all kinds of stuff. And so that's why, getting involved can be intimidating, just trying to look at the platform. So that's why I like Robinhood too. Robinhood's great. It's simple. It's easy to get set up. You can open a Robinhood account on your phone in 5 minutes. It's fantastic.
So, because one of the things about different platforms, can you talk about those and like how you can, what's the benefit in actually, some of them have the detriment, like between the two? Because for me, the reason why I'll say like, go ahead on and use Schwab or the other banks versus Robinhood is because for the beneficiaries. Did they allow beneficiaries yet on Robinhood?
You know what? That's an important thing. And I do believe that I actually have experience with that because my dad passed away and about 2 years ago, and he had a Robinhood account. And so he listed my stepmom as a beneficiary, and the transition was really smooth. So it worked out great. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's been several years before.
But you need to be thinking about that, right? Mm-hmm. So we're talking money about that wallet. Look, if you guys have any kind of finances at all. Everybody has money. So you need to be planning for if the unthinkable happens and you end up passing away, right?
Yeah.
You need a will. And it doesn't even if you don't have a lot of money, that's okay. But if you still need to tell people what's going on. Like, so my dad's a great example. We had no idea. So we had to like dig through all of his emails. We had to try to get onto his computer, who's beneficiary to what, and just try to figure all that out. And it just makes it a little easier if you can jump right in there and have a list and instructions in case something happens.
Yeah. So, because the reason why I brought that up mostly is because my show is focusing on the sandwich generation. And that's one of the things that a lot of people try to figure out. It's like, okay, as people are getting older, we just need to figure out what is next for the family. And then what is next for us as a unit, as an individual. How can we start preparing ourselves for that going forward? So we talked about options a little bit, but can you explain what is an option for those who never heard of an option? And I just want to give a shout out to Lisa J Stocks right quick, because she talks about stocks all day, every day. Love the show. If you haven't checked her out, please go follow her. And she said that her go-to favorites is Fidelity and Moo. So,
Moo, yeah, I actually have an account with them too.
oh, you do?
Yeah, I don't have one with Fidelity, but I do Moo.
Do you like Moo?
You know what? They're okay. I mean, their desktop platform's pretty nice, so I do like them. Their support's not great. If you need help, they're not always quick to help.
Okay, that's good to know. Because I met them, but you know what? I just found out that I didn't have a Moo account. I have a Webull account that I haven't used in such a long time. But yeah, so like all these platforms are out there. It's just you gotta get into it, gotta get started, get your feet dirty. And as far as investment, when you're playing with investments outside of your 401k, what percentages do you typically try to stay within?
Well, I'm focused on options trading. And so I know you had asked about what is an option. So I'll answer both of those together.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
I keep a lot of I keep actually 75% of my account in cash. And that is very unique, but it's because I'm trading options. And the reason I do that is I'm selling an option, and I'll explain what an option is. But the reason I'm 75% cash is because if the market dips, the options get more expensive. And so you make actually more money, but your previous options you might lose money on. And so you need to have capital at all times so that you can recoup your losses. So money management is a big part of it, and having the ability to always buy in when the market dips. That's a little bit more advanced, but to answer the question of what is an option, it goes with the name option. It means that you're buying or selling an option to buy a stock at a certain price at a certain time. So it's like I'm telling you, I say, hey, Anthony, I really love Robinhood, and you own a share of Robinhood. I'll be like, hey, I'll buy it off you for $100 if it's above 100 in 2 months.
Right.
And I'll pay you $5 to do it. If you'll hold that option for me for $5 in 2 months, I'll buy it off you.
Right.
But then if the stock goes down, then you're holding on to that option and it's not worth anything. But then if it goes up, then you get the stock for $100. Right. So it's like you just buy an option to get a stock at a certain price.
Got you. Because I never took a stock, an option through its full, as you could say, realizing the actual option, if that makes sense. Like if it's already in the green, I already have 100 shares per one option of 100 shares of that particular company to go on the purchase that. I always kind of sell before that happens. Have you went all the way through with that yet?
Oh yeah. Yeah. What they do is they'll call that assignment. And so if you sell an option and the price goes out of the money, then you have to buy the stocks. So you'll have to buy like 100 shares or if you own how many contracts. So yes, I've done that many times, and it's pretty interesting how it works. You sell the option and the broker will automatically put those stocks right in your account.
That is actually pretty cool. I need to practice that. Do they allow you to practice that in the paper trading too, or no?
They do. Yes,
Oh.
absolutely. And that's another reason why I like Thinkorswim is if you open a live account with them, you get their Thinkorswim paper trading platform. It's the best for paper trading because I know that Webull has paper trading, Moomoo has paper trading, I think, but they're harder to understand on how to use. In my opinion, they're not as legit. So the best paper trading is with Thinkorswim by far. So if you want to get in and get your feet wet, it's the best.
All right, then I'll have to definitely check that out. Are there any particular stocks that are on your radar right now, like what industry?
Well, so I have a kind of a whole thing. You asked about what beginners should do, and I say get into the S&P 500 because they do all the research for you. You're following the smart people. But I also have kind of a strategy that I use for research, and that is I love new technology. And I feel like if we go back in history and we look at the markets since the 1800s, to be honest, that's what's moved the markets is technology. You go back early 1900s, you look at steel, right? The steel industry. I lived in the Pittsburgh area for a long time, so that's really big out there. The steel industry, early 1800s, the railroads, right? Electricity, oil, the oil industry, all of these new technologies and these new industries made millionaires. And then following that, there was the next big thing. And then the next big thing. And so finding a new industry before it takes off is huge, and it can create great wealth. And so what are some more recent ones? Internet, cell phone, right? Those are huge industries. Internet, computer chips, right? Computer chips were huge. Computers, these are all big industries. And so what's on the horizon now? Well, we've got electric vehicles, Tesla, right? AI's big. Robotics, AI and robotics kind of go hand in hand. So you've got to be looking at these industries. And then energy has been big in the past, but energy is going to be bigger in the future because now all of this new tech needs to get powered, and tech requires power. So and there's new technology in energy. So energy is a great industry to get into. Chips, you know what? Everything in the future is going to require, I've got a cup of coffee. My coffee is going to have chips, computer chips. You got to have chips for everything. The chip industry is growing. Yeah. So that's number one is new industry. So I answered that very long-winded. But the other factor is don't just go with new industry, but go with the best, right? If you guys know any sporting analogies, there's always a GOAT, right? You got Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods or whatever. There's always somebody, Tom Brady. There's always somebody that's the best of the best. And you know what? You're never going to go wrong when you're going for the best. So you pick a brand new industry that's really hot, and then you pick the best, the leader, the one that's winning the war in that industry, and you really can make big gains.
Like that. Because one of the things that I've been heavily focused on is quantum. Because I was looking at, the computer chips is one thing, but once you start expanding that processing power, it only can do but so much. Then how can you really maximize AI on a single chip? But imagine if you had quantum chips inside your machines now that we don't have, because remember the mainframes used to be as huge as a whole room. Now the size of a mainframe to even hold 1 gigabyte of data, you're like 1 gig, like that's not even enough to hold Instagram on your download feed. So it's just kind of like, well, what does that look like going forward? So that's what I'm thinking, like quantum right now is in that mainframe stage. So we got to keep this going.
You know what? That's a great one. And so keep your eyes on those hot industries and you're going to do well. right? And another little tip that I like is I don't like to spread out too thin, right? Because they're always like, you want to diversify for safety.
Right.
But I'm kind of like, well, the way that you go big is to go with focus, right? Laser in. So keep it for a few of the main leaders, and then don't buy any duds.
Got you. Yeah, because I kind of made my own ETF. 'Cause I was like, I'm only doing quantum. That's mostly my portfolio. Everything else is kind of like kind of onesie, twosies here and there, but I'm all in.
That's good.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna take a small break, say hi to the folks, and then ready for your drink. You got your drink?
I've been drinking.
Oh, dude.
I didn't know we had to wait.
No, I mean you didn't have to wait. I mean, by all means.
I should have said, "Whoa, man, you ready?"
Yeah, like even though one of the guys, Jamal, hilarious, gonna put the drinks. He already know what it is, and usually he having Hennessy Black. If he's still listening, I'm sure he is. That's what he's drinking. Let's see. Let's say hi to Ruthie. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you. And then we have Lisa. I'm curious on what you're drinking this time, because sometimes she drinks, sometimes she doesn't. Mostly water. We got Psalms 11:26. Thank you for joining. So go on and get this drink on. Thank you. And if you guys are listening and haven't responded yet, go on and say something, because I don't know. I can't see who's here. So just leave a little something down there. Let's see. I don't drink. Gotta pick up my daughter from work. It's okay. We'll have a double shot for you. All right. So just give us a moment here. We're gonna have a drink session and get it started. All right. So what we're gonna be making today, because I love this drink. It's super simple. Now, for the kids, if you want to make mocktails, I'm using, this is just coconut, just like coconut cream. I'm adding it in here along with the rest of my drink, because why not? It's an alcoholic beverage. Well, I'm making an alcoholic beverage. You guys, for kids, going to be making a non-alcoholic beverage. So what we're going to do here is a little bit of coconut cream, because you want the coconut flavor. Then we're going to have some, this is pineapple from concentrate. It doesn't matter what kind of pineapple you're going to use. Then we're going to add that in there. And usually about 6 ounces. This is about a, I don't know, drink. Don't matter. And then lastly, for the mocktail people, you're just going to have a splash of grenadine. This is just a regular cherry grenadine. And you can have yourself you just made yourself a little tropical sunrise. And it will look like this. So now you have a tropical sunrise. Now, if you want to, thank you. Now, if you want to actually spice it up a little bit, bring in the coconut rum. If you want to have an adult beverage, bring in this. How we going to do this? And now this is pour to taste. I mean, I'm not going to judge you. You're at home. You're not driving anywhere. And just keep pouring. I mean, whatever makes you happy.
You can dump it to the top, man.
I gotta work tomorrow. Oh, you know what? I'm actually off tomorrow. You're right. Let's keep it going. All right. So let's see. That's about right. All right. So that now, because you added the alcohol, it's called a panty ripper. Panty ripper. So all right. So Casey, what are you drinking?
I should have had my clear cup, but it's Dunkin' Donuts black coffee, no cream, no sugar, just
Nice.
black.
Straight.
The way I grew up in my family, you know what? If you put cream in your sugar, you were laughed at.
Really?
Cream or sugar, it was just black. So, you know what? It's just how it is in my house.
Wow. Okay. Geez. So yeah. Oh man. Like I don't drink coffee, but I heard stories. And I'm like, man.
It's good for you.
Okay. I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Although I shouldn't be drinking this late. It's kind of like drinking the alcohol. I'll be staying up all night.
Oh, gee. After this, it's gonna put me to sleep. I was like, man, I gotta get. So I did have an extra. I added in an extra shot for Lisa since she's driving. I'll do that for Lisa. She owes me one. All right, let's see what we got. Ruthie, you said you sipping on some American mint tea, non-alcoholic. I appreciate that. Said I'm drinking Crystal Light. I mean, it's pretty healthy this time of night. Gotta do what you gotta do.
That's good stuff.
She said, cute. Ruthie, thank you. And you say your uncle used to drink coffee like that. Just straight black. Wow. So, like, if you're doing it just straight without anything else, do you do like the flavor coffee? What type of coffee you only do?
I like it bold, like Colombian, French. It's stronger, a little bit on the strong side.
Oh, man. Right where I get the hair on the chest, and I don't have any. So.
Yeah, I gave up the alcoholic adult beverages. I'm just not the kind of guy that could handle it.
Okay.
My personality is just such a go all in, and I have a tendency to chug. Right, so if I have a drink, I'm chugging it, and so
you're not sipping. Every
day I would drink, I would wake up and not remember what happened. I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I'm sorry you went through that.
No, it was good learning lessons.
Right. So we got the drinks out the way. Well, you've been sipping all day. I'm starting. Okay, so we got the investment side of the house. Now we talked about the investments. Let's talk about a little bit about business. So what business, because you obviously started a franchise. Well, not started a franchise, but you bought into a franchise. You sold that or dismantled that. Did you go back and started another business?
Yeah, I've done quite a few different investments and businesses along the way. I went from carpet cleaning to actually making homemade soap. And
you make soap?
Yeah, I did soap and just making it and selling it. And it's so interesting. Business is so interesting because when I started, my father-in-law just said, hey, maybe you should try this. So I did, because I think it's good to just jump in and try things. And I did okay with it. But then after I did that, then I started in the carpet cleaning of business again. I was like, oh, I'll just do it again. This time, not a franchise, just take my own equipment and run my own brand, because I already knew what I was doing. And so I did it a second time. And then I was also working a job. I was in construction. And in 2008, the economy really tanked. And that was our last bad recession, right? So we've been kind of flying high since 2008. And I couldn't get work in the construction industry. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to start a website. So I did some research. I thought, I have a lot of history in trading. I'm running this soap business. I was doing soap online too, by the way, selling it online. But I want to teach people about the markets. So I started a website, started writing articles. And fortunately for me, the content really took off. And it's, back then YouTube was just starting out. So it wasn't video, it was a blog. And I would post my articles on different websites and really got a lot of traffic. And so that's what got me into educating people in finances, because I was able to make enough money to not have to go back to work, just from my investments and also from traffic sales, right? You get traffic, you can promote products. And so internet marketing company did really well.
Got you. That is really good. Because one of the things when it comes to starting a website, like a lot of people have that anxiety from there. Creating a blog, did you utilize like WordPress or you just kind of wrote whatever available at the time?
You know, there's a lot of obstacles to getting started in business, right? And that was one of the things that I'm good at. And I am very thankful for my personality, right? I've got a lot of negative, sometimes our greatest strengths are also our greatest weaknesses, right? I think that's kind of always true. Like we're really good in this area, but because we're good in it, it causes weaknesses in other areas. I'm good at like just going and doing stuff without knowing what I'm doing. So I didn't have any experience in web building, and I didn't have any money either. But what I did have was the drive to learn, and I had a computer, so I could use those tools. So I could use the little bit that I had, and I didn't look at my obstacles. I just went and did it. And so I used a free website builder.
Nice.
Because they had a couple free ones. I don't even know if there's any free ones now, but they had some free ones then.
Ruthie is, knowing Ruthie over the years, she is the queen of just doing it, figuring out.
You just got to make it happen. Yeah. Don't worry about all that other junk. Just go for it.
Yeah. Because I'm one of those people who's like, let me do all the research. Let me figure this out. After I do about 2 or 3 things, I was like, all right, cool. Now I'm locked in. But then by that time, it's kind of like either late. I should have done it sooner. And what's holding me back? Because I could tell you this, for me, I'm trying to start a whole podcast network. So for the people that have been podcasting for a while, and then they kind of getting to learn things, and I can teach them, then they can join my network. But I haven't done the website. Like I bought the domain. I just got to get the website and everything like that. I just been taking my sweet time with it because I want to do it right. And so can you talk about doing it right versus getting it done?
So that's a great question, because I personally am a getting it done guy. And I always believe that it's better to jump in with both feet and to learn on the fly and to make a ton of mistakes and look like a total fool than to be slow and go with a slow launch. There's a really good book out there, and I cannot remember the author's name, but it's called Ready, Fire, Aim. Right? It's about business. And it's basically take the shot and then aim afterwards, and that's kind of how I like to flow. However, with that being said, I have learned to really admire and respect the people that are kind of like on the perfectionist side. That doesn't mean that you don't launch, but my one friend who's also in this business, he's actually done much better than I have in financial success. He's just such a detailed person, and he's really on the details. And he's just done so well. And so I've learned to value that gift in other people and to maybe try to develop it a little bit in myself, because I'm sometimes just all over the place because I'm a quick thinker and a quick action taker. So there's definitely good to have a balance there.
Yeah. So one of the things that, since you mentioned that book, I think that would be a good book to give away, because I know you're an author as well, and you've written a book. Do you want to give your book away too, or no? Just
I can do it. I got here. Hold on.
All right.
I got one sitting here on the shelf.
Nice. So for those of you who want a book giveaway,
I can do the shipping, but I can't ship out international. So if it's you got to be a USA to win.
Yes, you got to be in the US.
Right here.
What are we going to call it though? What are we going to do to giveaway? What should they do? Hashtag what? What are you thinking about? Hashtag Stubbs?
Sure. Yeah, right. That's a good one.
All right, type in hashtag Stubbs. STUBBS. Hashtag Stubbs. You only get one entry, no matter how many times you keep putting it in there. So I just wanted to let y'all know that. So don't try to put it in there like 8 times. So we're gonna do 2 book giveaways. I'm gonna do one for Ready, Set, Aim, and then
Ready, fire, aim.
Ready, Fire, Aim. Thank you. And then I'm gonna do another one for. I'm gonna just share my screen real quick so we can see what the books look like, so y'all know what y'all getting into. And let's see, we can do this book.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. The Complete Trading System. Okay. So to make sure that you get that copy. And then we're going to do one. I'll click stop sharing. It's like, this is the part the live shows that, it's the reason why we do live. There we go. And then we got Ready, Fire, Aim, 0 to 1 million in no time flat.
100 million, buddy.
100 million. All right. There's actually zeros.
That's a little fast.
Yes.
No time flat. No, it's a great book. I highly recommend it. He's got as many stars he's got as many. I'm a 4.6. He's a 4.6, but he's got 500 ratings. I only have 100.
Right. Right. But either way, I mean, you're already a proven entity to show like, hey, this stuff works and that people need to know how to make this happen for themselves. So we got 2 people already. Let me see if I can find it. My giveaway one. So we got 2 people right now. So if you guys are really want to get these books, I know it's like 5 so far, showing 5 people watching. That's all I can see. If you want to be part of this giveaway, go ahead on and type in #Stubbs. You'll get inside this entry. So with that being said, I'm gonna do it this way. All right. So this is why I play around with StreamYard. I like the templates. Okay, so we're gonna do a smaller shift to talk about the saving side. So we're gonna bring this back full circle to how we started, which is, how can I say, we talked about saving the 10%. We talk about, investing the 10%. It's almost like you're doing like a 30-70 rule. Like, don't even care about the rest of the stuff. Like, you live off the 70%, whatever that looks like. So can you give us like, how did that work well in your life doing it that way?
Well, it's definitely harder now. So I'm not saying that it can't be done, but it's definitely tougher now, right? Because it's hard to actually live off of your wages, right? It's definitely is. So you got to really calculate everything, right? You got to be looking at your housing, looking at your vehicle expenses, looking at your food, and for one, living off of a budget. I think budgeting is important. So it can definitely still be done, but it's tough. It's definitely tough. But either way, even if you can't pay for everything, you still should do it, right? It's one of those things where you start it out. Don't get yourself into debt. Stay out of the debt. The debt's not good. And just keep plugging away at it, and it'll begin to grow.
Yeah. So do you keep do you have not recommended, what high yield savings accounts do you typically look at, or what accounts do you actually gravitate towards when it comes to high yield savings accounts?
So when it comes to savings accounts, there's not a lot of options. And it's going to get worse because we're lowering rates right now. And there's a good chance, based off of the financial data, that we're going to lower the rate at least 2 more times this year. And so that means that savings money is not going to help anybody much as far as interest rates. So whatever account you get is fine. If your local bank has one, it's not going to make much of a difference. So the only thing I would use savings for is just to put enough away to cover in case something happens in your life, right? Okay, you lose your job, or
A furlough.
something right. Exactly. Anything. I mean, that's one thing, but anything could happen. Somebody gets sick. I mean, there's just a lot of different things that can happen. So a recommendation that a lot of the experts say, and I think that's fine, is to put away 6 months of living expenses, right? And then don't ever save more than that, because savings are a surefire way to lose your money because of inflation, right? If I would have taken that 30,000 that I had initially and saved it, I'd be throwing away so much money. It's not even funny. So you've got to invest. Just save the bare minimum, really. The rest needs to be in investments, businesses, something.
Okay, keep it short and sweet. I like it. All right, since we only got 2 people, how about we do this? We can either, whoever gets the first one, we'll just figure it out. I'll do the first one, and whoever wins out of the 2 people, because it's only 2 people. Who's gonna win? Hey, Psalms, you got it. Okay, Psalms. So all you have to do is email me at aboutthatwallet.com. I'm doing email me at aboutthatwallet. This is what happens when you drink midday. Email me at info@aboutthatwallet.com. Put on there I just need you to say live show drawing for November 6th. And all I would need is I usually recommend the Amazon boxes, so it doesn't get to your house and somebody do like the porch pirate situation. So just send me the nearest what they call it, the nearest Amazon box that's near you, so we can send that over to you. All right, so I guess Ruthie will get your book.
Okay.
All right. And so Ruthie, what do you want them to email you?
Yeah. How about CaseyStubbs@gmail.com? And you could just put "about that wallet" in the subject line, and send me your address, and I'll mail it to you. Awesome. And I'll, you know what? I'll drop a little video or whatever, tag Anthony on it, so you can see me doing it. I'll walk to the post office or something, and post office is right down the corner, so it's a short walk from here.
That's awesome. And Casey, this is fun. Is there anything that you want to leave the people before we kind of wrap up the show?
Well, I think the biggest thing is just be wise with your finances and have some financial discipline. Learn things, study, watch some content. I love to read, right? I love to read. I'm always trying to learn, always trying to grow. If you're not growing, if you're not learning, you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. So take responsibility for your finances. It's really, the truth is, this is so true. Okay. It's not how much you make. It's how you manage what you got. Yeah. Right. If you can't manage a little, you're never going to manage a lot.
Love it. And Ruthie says she'll do an unboxing video for you too.
All right. Does she got my email? It's just Kate. It's very simple. CaseyStubbs@gmail.
Nice. Yes, she said it sounds good on there, but she got it.
All righty.
Awesome. All right, Casey. So where can people find out more about you? And before we do that, I like this question. I know Lisa doesn't like it. Lisa J. Stocks. I love this question because I actually doing my actual interview when we do like pre-recorded episodes, which is, what is your favorite dish to make?
My favorite dish to make. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone could not love that question.
Right. That's
So,
what I was understand.
so
Like,
I gotta tell you. So I did work as a cook for a while. I'm not much of a cook, but I was like a grill guy. I'd do steaks. I'd have the whole grill full of steaks. I was at Ponderosa Steakhouse. They went out of business, but it was fun because the flames were on the grill. We're grabbing them with the tongs and whipping them out. It was a lot of fun. But just this week, my daughter's 16, her name's Abby. My daughter and I have been trying to do sourdough bread from scratch, where you take yeast. You don't use yeast. You use flour and water, and you mix it. Then you let it sit on the counter, and then the bacteria grows and it creates its own yeast. And it takes like a week to do it. And so we've been playing around with this, and it's really challenging, but there's only 2 ingredients and it makes the best bread. It's literally flour and water. That's all. And then when you mix the bread, you put a little bit of salt. So there's only 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt. So because that's fresh and that's what we're doing now, it's fun.
nice. I'm gonna have to try that one day.
It's hard.
Okay. Do you like let it like? What is the ratio between water and flour?
So you got to create the starter first. It's like this little yeast ball with just flour and water, and it's 40 grams of water, 40 grams of flour.
Oh, so it's equal. Okay.
Yeah, and you measure it, you mix it, then you let it sit on the counter overnight, and then you do it again the next day, and it takes like 5 days of doing that every day. And I learned, guess where I learned? YouTube. There's a guy called The Bread Code. He's really cool. He's German. He's funny. He's a nice guy, and his videos are really good.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. 5 days to make bread, though. Is that at this point I'm gonna just buy the yeast? Like,
The main reason I wanted to do it, I told my daughter, I said, the bread now, you watch all these YouTube it teaches you stuff and it's crazy, but the bread now has like 50-degree ingredients, and the guy's like, this isn't bread, this isn't food, this is horrible, and so I'm like, I want real bread. I'm tired of eating all this junk in the stores.
that is cool. Okay. Oh, we got another request to be on the show from a dads and grads, because talking about your daughter and everything.
Oh yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. So
yeah, did I tell you guys that I had 9 kids? Did I tell you that at the beginning of the show?
No. Well, how old
that's kind of one of my big highlights. I usually tell people right away.
Well, I mean, I didn't know. Let's can we dive into that? I mean, I got time. I mean, I'm not sure.
If you have any questions, my oldest is 26, the youngest is 12. So I got 5 girls, 4 boys.
Hold on.
Okay, this is why you need to invest, by the way.
Okay, so
yeah.
Take us like, hold on. So you got the first one 26 years ago. The first one comes out. Okay, yeah, you happy, But what made you continue to say, I'm not going to strap up anymore. I'm just going all in.
Well, honestly, for me, it's a faith thing. The very first commandment in the Bible is to be fruitful and multiply. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to obey that command. And, a lot of it also has to do with, it's a little bit of faith, right? Like, okay, how am I going to afford these kids? Right. And honestly, every time I have more children, it seems like my provision goes up. And I attribute that to trusting the Lord for my provision. There is a lot of statistics that married men make more money. And I just really believe that that's true. Married families make more money, and like single guys don't make as much. And part of it's motivation. When you have that responsibility, you gotta figure it out one way or another.
Wow. Okay. But did she agree to this? Like, was this something that you planned? Like, what? Take us to the mindset.
Look,
like, I'm just
I was on another podcast, and it was a dad's podcast, and one of the guys said something. He says, whenever I talk to people with big families, it's always the woman that agrees, because the dad's not going to make that decision.
Right.
So yeah, no, I didn't tell my wife I recommended it, and she said, yeah, let's do it. So it was definitely her that went for it.
Wow. Okay. So if I'm just like, and you agreed? Like that's one of the
I
things
mean, you know what, dude? It's
okay.
the best.
Okay.
Honestly, it's so good. I mean, kids are amazing, and my kids are awesome, and it's just been an amazing journey. I'm originally from Oregon,
Okay.
and so right now I live in the East Coast, and so we would drive. Yes, we got twins.
Oh, they got twins. Nice. Like, is it multiple
Yeah,
sets of twins or
yeah, just one set of twins, but
nice?
that's always fun, the first ones. But yeah, we'd get everybody in the vehicle. We drive across the country, and it's just so many stories, so much fun.
That's cool.
So it's great. Keeps everything lively.
Okay,
No
so
boring days.
I'm like, how's it quiet now? That's my thing.
I'm not at home.
Oh,
When I drove to the office. You know what? When you got 9 kids, you don't work from home. So that's
okay.
lesson number 1.
Okay, so for a family that's somebody that's out there thinking like, I just want to have like 2 kids or 3 kids. What is it? Do you have any parenting advice, I would say, for somebody that's looking to even have their first child?
Oh, well, I mean, the parenting advice, first of all, I've been how long's it been? My oldest is 26, so I've got quite a few years, and so you just got to learn it on the go, just like in a business, right? You can prep and prep and prep, but you don't learn until you go. And as you learn, the stages are different, and every kid is different, right? So you have to continually adjust, because it's like your first kid, it does this, and it's like, oh, we got through it, they did great, and then all of a sudden your next kid's having all these other issues. It's like, well, wait, why didn't the first one do this?
Mhm.
Because every child is just so different. And so you just got to do your best. And for me, the hard part has not been working so much, because I like to work. And so focusing on career and working, I've had to learn to not always put my own needs first, and to step back a little bit from that stuff.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like, well, how long were y'all married before the first child? If you don't
Well, so my wife had twins. They were before we were married, and then I adopted them.
okay.
And so then we had 5 together, and the last 2 was really an interesting story as well, because we adopted the last 2. So
Okay.
So the last 2 were my wife was babysitting one of our neighbors,
Mhm.
and the neighbor, the mother was having a lot of issues, and she was a drug user. And so she ended up giving her kid away to her sister, and then her sister couldn't take her. And so they were going to turn her over to the state. And so my wife was like, she called me up on the phone. She said, her name was Ellie. She said, oh, they're going to give Ellie up to the state for fostering. And so my wife was like, we got to get her. And so I was like, okay. So my wife showed up at the courthouse, and then they issued us custody, because we had what they called a kinship case.
Mhm.
Well, this was one little girl. She was 2 years old. Her name was Ellie. And then we get her, and then literally a month later, and we didn't know the mom. We were just babysitting. A month later, the state calls us, the caseworker, and they said, hey, the mother just had another child, left it at the hospital. The child is addicted to heroin, is going through detox. Would you like to take her sister? And so we're like, yeah. So we took her sister. And so we got, in 1 month, we got 2 kids. And then at the exact same time, my wife said, hey, I got a surprise. I'm pregnant. So we ended up getting 3 kids right at the exact same time. And then at that point, my wife said, okay, we're done. I said, okay.
Yeah. Like, now, did you go under the knife, or y'all just like, we're just going to use protection from that point?
We didn't
Okay.
get no surgery. I couldn't do that.
Okay.
I'm not, that's not
Like,
me.
right. Because I've heard women say like, hey, I've been under the knife several times. It's your turn now. So
Yeah.
I've heard that
Yeah.
from other guys. So, wow. Okay.
I didn't want to do that just in case she changed her mind. Because if she would be like, let's go for another one, I would have probably said yes.
Okay. So, man, what kind of I'm up here thinking like, what is like? I mean, obviously, alcohol, because clearly alcohol would actually destroy your possibilities. So, I mean, now I might put like, what are the health tips? Like, this is a whole nother adult show. Because I don't have any kids. I'm actually about to look up 12. What did it say? Psalms, what, 11? What's it called? Which one? I'm gonna look this up right quick.
There's a really great psalm. It's
Mm.
Psalm 127 that says, "Children are a gift from the Lord," and I've just always loved that one.
Okay, and this one for 112:6 states that the righteous will never be moved. He will be remembered forever. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so you leaving a full legacy over there. Man, you're a living king over there.
I'm definitely blessed. It's been good. It's been good. I enjoy every day.
Man, I know this isn't like a full like adult family story, but I mean, thank you for sharing that with us because from the sandwich generation, it's like, how do we prepare ourselves for something like that? Again, it wasn't like you were like, hey, I'm out the army. This is what I want. I want a big family. This was more so of like he said with business, you got to take it one day at a time, one event at a time. Man, Christmas must be lovely at your place.
You know what? They're getting older now, so not quite as much. When they're little, you know how Christmas is just so fun with kids because it's very special because of the wonder. The kids they just get so excited.
Right.
And honestly, I'm kind of a Grinch, like, spending the money, but my wife was like a big kid and she just loved to do it for the kids and the kids would always have fun. So she'd actually get me to cheer up a little bit, which is nice. But, you just never know what's going to happen in life. You just never know, man. Nobody knows where they're going to end up or what they're going to end up being or where they're going to end up going. It's fascinated me because like just driving the other day, I was like, I never thought I was going to be here or doing what I'm doing. Like if you would have asked me 25 years ago that this is what I'd be doing, I'd be like, nope.
Right. Because I'm up here thinking like, well, what does the future hold for you? But I'm like, I don't know. I'm taking it I don't even know what tomorrow looks like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, just the thing about the sandwich generation and the kids, you just got to teach them these habits. Yeah. It's finances is really all about good habits and being wise. Right. And you just got to teach it to them. And even if they don't get it right away, if you teach the principles, they'll come back to them eventually. Because there's just so many stories about inheritances. If you have money, if I did a great job and I made all this money, but I didn't teach people how to use it, there's so many stories. It's like a lottery winner. When somebody wins the lottery, they're usually broke a couple years later. And it's the same thing with an inheritance. If you don't know how to handle it, it can destroy you.
And truly, indeed. And I'm glad that, you figured out investment a long time ago to prepare you for your kids, and your family and your life and your wife. And it's like, well, I guess one last question. I know it's a little over, which is because I know you got to get back to your family. I don't understand. So sorry. The only thing is like, when do you cash out of your stocks or even your options so that you can, offset some of the costs or in case an event comes up? How do you select?
Well, that's a really good question, and it's something that everybody needs to figure out. It's all totally unique on each person. Somebody asked me today. They said, and this happens to me a lot because I have some people that I coach and stuff. They're like, "Well, should I take this trade tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I don't know about your account. I don't know about your life situation. I don't know how much money you have. I don't know about what you need to use it for. I mean, I can't answer those questions, but you need to figure it out for yourself."
Right.
And so for me, I am looking at I like to always add. Even now, I'm always adding. And I don't really want to take too much out until I hit retirement age, right? That's really my plan. And when I do, look, I've got some great examples of my grandparents and parents, right? My grandparents, when they retired, they ended up making a ton of money just from their retirement investments.
Wow.
And that's how I want to be, right? So that you have no need for very few people nowadays. This is a statistic, Anthony, and I'm sure you know this because you're doing this. Very few people have enough money for retirement now.
That is true. Yeah, I saw that recently. People are still working until they're 72. It's ridiculous.
It sneaks up on you. Like as an older guy, I get it. It sneaks up on you. So you got to be ready.
Because I'm in my 40s now, and I'm like, I got to kick it in gear.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yeah.
get it ready.
The 40s, you still got time, but some people aren't aware until it's like, oh, I'm retiring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, oh, I'm retiring.
It's like, what am I going to do? I don't know. I'm going to rely on the government, but they're doing furloughs and they're cutting Social Security. What?
That part, I tried to explain it so much. Yes, you're so right. Oh man. All right. Well, Casey, I didn't know. I know this went over, but hopefully one person got value out of this conversation. And man, thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy day with the family. I mean, I feel bad now. It's like just having you on the show. I was like, man, this should have just been a 10-minute phone call. Like,
you know what? I made a very special exception for you, Anthony, so you don't have to feel bad because most of the time I don't do this. Like people will want to, because I could do meetings all day long and I'm like, nope, that's family time. I don't mess with it. So this is very rare. So don't feel bad.
Okay, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. This was amazing. Hopefully, everybody, you guys got something amazing out of this. And congratulations to the winners of the giveaway. Please make sure when y'all get the books, take a picture, hashtag both of us, or tag both of us in whatever platform you're on. Casey, one more time, where can they meet you if they want to learn more about your investment style, learn about more about you?
Well, this is YouTube, so everybody on here has probably got YouTube. My YouTube channel is Freedom Income Options, and I post a lot of stuff on there. So
yeah,
there's
bite-sized.
all my contact information's on there too.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. And Casey, we just hit on just for a couple minutes. I'm gonna just do the closeout stream, and then we good to go.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. Hopefully, y'all be safe out there. And remember, you can only put on one shoe at a time because if you put both of them on, you can actually wind up hurting yourself. All right, y'all be safe. Be out. Peace.